Are you doing things just because you've always done them? I do this at times as well. I'm catching myself doing this a lot right now in content. And by the way, my name is Josh Moxey, and I'm an aspiring entrepreneur documenting my journey. And it is September 25th, 2019, and I make a lot of content, okay? And what has been shooting me over, or shooting myself, I've been shooting myself in the foot and fucking myself over because I've been subscribing to things that I've done in the past that might not work so well in the future. And I found that I've been resistant to letting go of rules I've set for myself. For example, I've had this rule of like, I have to post content in a specific order of when it's recorded for documentation purposes. But the reality is, this is not serving me anymore. Another thing that isn't serving me necessarily anymore is my intro. I don't have to have the intro the exact same way that it's always been. So I'm trying to find ways of breaking that as well. The reason I bring those two things up, and I'll talk about those more in a second, is I've been thinking a lot about this idea of breaking patterns of and completely trying new things even if I think it's gonna fail. I've gotten this a lot from D-Rock and Gary Vaynerchuk. They like really push on this edge of experimentation because the reality is there is nothing you can like there's such a okay, you can fail and it can be catastrophic, but the odds of it being catastrophic are just so fucking slim that you might as well fail and just continue testing and try new things and just be in a constant cycle of just learning and adapting and doing things even if you think they're going to be bad, because you will gain lessons from them and insights that you didn't know previously. And it can lead you to places that will work, and it's just an ongoing testing and experimentation game, and they're so fucking good at these two. I'm looking at D-Rock in the past couple weeks, and like the ways he's creating content and choosing to make on his Instagram, for example, is just like, oh my god, there's so many new formats and new ways of doing things that I haven't even like pondered yet, and it's just like expanding my brain every time I see new things that he's making. So it's like, this is applicable to every way of life. We don't need to get stuck in these fucking boxes and past rules we place for ourselves. Number one, because they've only gotten us here, and what got us here will not get us to the next place we need to go. Some things might, but everything has an expiration date at a certain point. So it's just paramount to fucking try new things and gain new insights and just break molds, okay? Like, the way that D-Rock has created in these past few weeks just to have me amped, because we've got like this classic picture and video and just like a caption below. But there's just so many new ways we can play within these little confined areas on social media, for example. But this is, again, you just need to think, for whatever you're trying to create, there's a million different ways you can do this. For whatever niche, whatever platform, whatever situation, there is more than we think there is. And I want to challenge you to not get stuck in these little boxes that we let ourselves and we let society place. We place ourselves in these boxes, and we let society place us in these boxes, and then we just stay in these comfortable areas because we don't want to like go against the norm or break these rules and consistencies. Fuck consistencies. Like, consistencies have held me back so much in the past. It's scary to think about. And they continue to hold me back. Like, in areas you just want to be consistent with certain things, and it's not always the best to be consistent. It is good to just go off the board and do crazy things sometimes. So for me, what's holding me back currently in content, I've been trying to post everything in fucking a perfect order. Actually, three things. I'll talk about the third thing in a second, so stick around for that. The first thing, the order. Not everything needs to be in the correct date order or even close to that. Like, I want to post this before I post my next video. And I also want to not necessarily do intros. Like, I'm not that down for intros right now. I also kind of don't want to do subtitles before my intros and the intro clip, and it's just a lot. because I used to do like find a clip from my video that was like attention grabbing, and then I would do like a little quick intro, so like Josh Moxey, I'm inspired, all that shit, and then I would actually say it in a video form, and I just don't want to do that anymore. I just don't feel like it's having as much value as it once did, and I can do things in a different way. Like I did it for this video, and I tried that, and that was my first time doing that. Normally it's just like, hey, I'm an entrepreneur, or hey, my name is Josh Moxey, I'm an aspiring entrepreneur. And what else can I say, man? The third one is like I felt this need to just place myself in this box of like, I've placed myself in this box of only psychology content, only lesson content, only all that type of stuff content. And it's time to break out of those boxes. It's time to try different mediums. It's time to experiment with things like TikTok. It's time to just do things that people aren't doing and do them in different ways and try to make them better, and just not necessarily better all the time, as well as like you can just make shit for the sake of making shit, so you can get an experiment, get the feedback, and then continue experimenting and continue experimenting and continue experimenting for the rest of fucking eternity, because that is the way to fucking do it. You will not get the lessons if you're staying in your comfort zone. You need to expand, you need to try new things, you need to test, you need to break molds and just do things differently, and the market will tell you what they think. And there are obviously a million different variables in these experiments, but fuck it, just do things differently, because it's just, life is too fucking short to keep yourself stuck in that box and let people keep you in that fucking box. Fuck the box. The box sucks, okay? Leave the fucking box, try new things, and watch some magical results occur in whatever areas you apply this in. Anyways, hope you got some value out of this. This is a little bit different for me, and equally somewhat the same, but we'll see. And I just want to continue evolving as time goes on. And it is about evolution. Like, what got me here will not get me to my next spot. And I just want to, I want to try new things. I've got a lot of new content coming out soon. I'm excited. But I'm going to, like, going back to that date thing. I want to start posting in like whatever order I feel like. It doesn't necessarily need to be documentation in XYZ date order. I can just fucking do whatever. That feels good to me. So without further ado, thank you so much for watching and listening. If you got enough value from this, please tell a friend, like this, comment on this, rate this podcast if you're listening in audio, and check out the other mediums below. And yeah, I just again appreciate you watching and listening. And as always, my name is Josh Moxey, and I will fucking catch you later.